He was supposed to be a memory, a legend, something out of a history book from 100 years ago. But he's back. Hogwarts has called him again. And this time, something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. Because you see, time is broken.
So where does it all begin? Well, it doesn't start with a bang. No. It starts with a frantic knocking and a voice. A voice from a past he thought he'd escaped forever.
He opens his eyes, and the very first thought that hits him isn't, "Where am I?" No, it's what's missing. His hand, almost on instinct, shoots under a pillow, grasping at nothing. And that's when the panic sets in. It's immediate, this cold, sickening dread that, well, every wizard understands. His connection to magic, his wand, it's gone. And then, as if that wasn't enough, comes the second shock. He raises an arm to look at it, and it's not the arm of a seasoned wizard. Not at all. It's small. It's weak. Frail, even. This isn't his body. Not the one he remembers, that's for sure. And as his vision finally starts to clear, the horror just cements itself. He's in this cramped, dark space, a place of pure misery he hadn't seen in years. This isn't a bad dream, no way. This is a memory, but it's real. He's in the Dursleys' cupboard under the stairs. Suddenly, all the pieces click into place with this terrifying certainty. Aunt Petunia's shrieking voice, this cramped space, his frail, small body. The impossible question is just hanging there in the air, but he already knows the answer, and it chills him to the bone. He's back. He's really back. Okay, but here's where the story takes a hard left turn, because the boy who steps out of that cupboard, he's not the scared, confused kid they remember. Oh no. He is something else, something entirely different. So picture this. The Dursleys are sitting there at the breakfast table, completely oblivious. To them, he's just the freak, the burden. They have absolutely no idea that they're sitting across from a wizard who has lived a whole lifetime they couldn't even begin to imagine. And then the mail arrives. And Uncle Vernon, in his usual charming way, barks an order at his son Dudley. It's just a casual bit of cruelty, But it's also a stupid, foolish mistake, a really big one. Because that little taunt, that one simple command, it's the trigger. It's the spark that's about to ignite a century of magical knowledge. See, here's the thing. He doesn't need a wand, not for something like this. His magic, it just answers to his will, to his intent alone. That's a super rare skill, A sign of immense power that most wizards, they never ever achieve it. And he is about to unleash it all. Before Vernon can even finish his sentence, poof, he's floating. Just like that. A non-verbal spell just lifts his huge troll-like body right into the air. Another quick charm softens the fall, keeps him from crashing. And when the swearing starts, a simple snap of the fingers and his mouth is sealed shut. It's effortless, it's silent, and it is absolutely terrifying. The Dursleys, they have no clue what they're up against. They think they're looking at an 11-year-old boy. But what they're really seeing, that's Hogwarts' premier dueling champion, a master of spellwork who's just, trapped in the body of a child. And believe me, he is just getting started.
But amidst all this chaos, the real reason for this whole confrontation is just lying there on the floor. It's an envelope, made of that heavy, familiar parchment and addressed in that elegant green ink.
He bends down and picks it up. And the address? Man, it's a painful, humiliating reminder of exactly what his place is in this house. The name is his, sure, but the title, the resident of the cupboard, it feels like he's been branded. The first time he got this letter, it was everything. It was a lifeline, a promise of a whole new world, of escape. But now, this time, it's a summons. It's a reminder of all the dangers, all the losses, all the battles he thought he'd already fought and won. This isn't freedom, it's a cage. So he retreats back to his cupboard, the Dursleys completely forgotten. He has to see the name on the letter. It's the one single detail that's going to tell him if this is really his past or if it's something far, far worse. He breaks the wax seal. In his mind, he already knows what it's going to say. He knows who the headmaster should be. He lived through the school year before, a whole century ago. This should just be a simple confirmation, right? The name he's expecting to see is Phineas Nigellus Black. The kind of eccentric, pure-blood-obsessed headmaster from his time at Hogwarts.
the guy whose portrait was always hanging in the headmaster's office.
But that's not the name written on the parchment. He reads the signature, and his entire world just stops. Albus Dumbledore. A name from the history books. A man who should have been long, long dead by the time he first set foot in Hogwarts. And right there, in that moment, he finally understands.
This isn't his past, it's the past. He hasn't just gone back to his own childhood. No, he's been thrown into a completely different timeline. This isn't a gift, it's a trap. It's a puzzle he now has to survive all over again, with enemies he knows all too well and allies who have absolutely no idea who he truly is.
So what do you do? What do you do when the life you finally escaped pulls you right back in, but twists all the rules? What happens when the boy who lived has to do it all over again, knowing every single horror that awaits him? This isn't a second chance, because sometimes coming back is the true punishment.